guys. Hello, Amy. Again, I was talking without my mic on. Okay, so, all right. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Kristi. I am with Junk Journal Boss. I run this business with Ezra and with myself. This is a family-owned, family-run business. And we are always so happy to be here on the live stream with you guys. And could you let me know if you hear me? That would be great. And somebody's puppy is over here squeaking. I think I'm going to need to put him out for a minute. Ezra, if you hear, can you grab him? All right, so today I want to show you what we're working on. And we're going to be building this journal right here. And this is a piano hinge journal. It's just a little small one. And I'm calling it Momento Mori. And it's just a really cute, really cool journal for this month. And I'm going to teach you guys how to make it. If you guys want the papers and everything, you can grab those in. Awesome. Thank you, Amy. You can grab those in the shop. And I'm sure Ezra will be posting those links right here in a few minutes. And so before we get started on this though, hi Susan. Welcome. That's okay, Ezra. All right, welcome to everybody who's here. I see you guys trickling in. Awesome. Thanks for being here. Welcome in. Before we get started on building this, I am going to show you guys a couple things. I got some new little screens to share, and so I want to let you know that uh-oh. Okay. Hang on a second. I forgot to add. Okay, how about now? No, it's not. It's not, Susan. I just put these up so I can share them with you and forgot to add my mic to these particular scenes. Now I'm just trying to make sure which ones I need to talk on. Okay, anyways, I'll go on and, oh, now you can hear me. Okay, thanks a lot. Sorry about that. There's a delay here, guys, so it's just kind of weird. But anyway, this is my weekly schedule. And on Mondays, I am in the Discord group, which belongs to my Patreon membership. And on Wednesdays and Fridays, I am here on YouTube. Wednesdays is 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And Ezzy, could you grab this guy? Sorry, guys. I got one that wants to like play with this squeaky. So on Wednesdays, we're doing, usually building a folio, but today we're going to be building something different. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and Fridays, I'm here from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific. All those are Pacific times. And let's see, I think we can probably get started right now. Thanks, Ezzy. All right, coast is clear. Okay, before I do that, I want to go ahead and read the names off and give my thank yous to my Patreon posse here. And these are the Dragonflies, and that is Darla White, Michelle Caldwell, Holly Spink, Mary Reynolds, Jane Dunlap, April Harrell, Dawn Graham, and a new friend, Judy Brewster. Thank you so much for being here and for your support, everybody. My butterflies are Ellen Davis, Marla Kimmel, Jenna Lynn, Debbie Rask, Amy Lynn Mellinson. Hi Amy, I know you're here. And thanks you guys. And the last tier is the Wildflowers, and that's Lee Brown, Polly, Sasha, Rhonda Howe, Linda Powell, Marie Nelson, Nikki Proctor, and Susan Inack. Hi Susan, I know you're here. And let's get started with the project. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, am I still on? Can you guys still hear me? I just want to make sure at every turn because I don't want to lose the sound again. All right, so we're going to build this cute little guy. These are my Skulls and Roses designs. There are the skulls journal cards. There's also the background and accent pages, and also the bifolds. That's what I've got in the shop. Thank you so much, Ezra. And so we'll go ahead and take a little stroll through. And basically what this is it's a piano hinge. It's kind of stretchy, you know, different from the other kind that I've done. This one entails actually threading the hinge through and then putting a little piece of paper, or you can do like a popsicle stick or coffee, what are those, coffee stirrers or something like that, to hold the pages in. And what I like about this, and you guys will know this about me, that I love being able to take these out of the actual book. So if I want to write in this, I'll just, you know, pull this out, pull out the signature, and go ahead and write in it if I want to. And so I'm also using some a goodie alert that I gave away, I think it was last month, and it's all the lined pages and stuff. And I also will be giving out this, and this is my what am I calling it? Eternal Love. And it is just some words, you know, there's like for eternity, dark thoughts for your journal, right? Here and there for eternity, and this says, from my ruined body flowers will grow, I will be in them, and this is eternity. So I kind of wanted this to be sort of like an eternal love, sort of macabre sort of thing. And so anyways, that's what we're going to be building today. But if you do not like skulls and you're not into Halloween and that kind of, you know, dark stuff or whatever, just grab some journal cards that you love, some coordinating papers, and I'll give you the measurements for everything else. You know, also grab coordinating like laces and ribbons and whatever it is you want, because we're going to do the whole thing right now. Okay, another thing that you probably want to have are some envelopes. Let me zoom out because I'm going to actually put these things here. Actually, let me just start over. The things that you're going to need are, you're going to need a black piece of cardstock, 2.5 by 9 inches, okay? And I've already scored this, and I've scored these from 1.5 to 7.5, and everything in between is at intervals of 1/2 inch, okay? So we can go over that again in a minute. The cover is going to be made from these items, and this is just some regular chipboard or the back of a tablet, cereal box, whatever you want. These are 4.5 by 5.5. Okay, so you'll need 2 of those. You're going to need a couple of postcards for the front and the back. I'll be using these 2. You will need a couple of pieces of paper. I'm using this striped one from the Backgrounds and Accents. And also, and this is to cover these pieces. And then we're also going to use 2 pieces of cardstock. And these are, let me give this a quick measure. 5 by 3 3/4. So these are going to be like the underneath of that, okay, of the, whatever your postcards are. You're also going to need, let's see where these come in. You're also going to need 6 rectangles, and these are going to be part of the piano hinge. And these are 3/8 inch by, I think it is 3.5. Yep. So 6 of these. Okay. And then we're going to also need the bifolds, which I'll be using. And what I did with the bifolds was I did these double-sided. If you can do them double-sided, do that. If you can't, you know, you can just embellish, you know, the other side of it or whatever. And I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 8 pages. And I just did them all double-sided. So however many pages you want. But if you're going to do this along with me, you want 8 pages. And these measurements are 6 3/4 wide by 5 inches tall. Okay. And so there's those. And then there are a bunch of extra postcards that I have in this set that I'm going to place inside, embellish with it. And I'm also going to be using a few of these. 8 inch by 5 inch, and these are going to be the outside of, I think these are going to be the outside of these signatures. So I've got 4 cardstock, and then I've got, you know, a few of these extra papers that are printed double-sided on, let's see, yeah, these are also double-sided, so that I can use them just for, you know, other things inside of the book. I also have some ribbon that matches the flowers, roughly, and some lace, and then just in case I need something a little bit more, I've got some grosgrain black. I've also got some envelopes that I ended up, you know, sealing and then cutting at the top with a paper cutter, not a paper cutter, a letter opener. And I want to add those in because I always have to add in something that is already used, you know, so that it can sort of qualify as a junk journal. You know, I really love doing trash to treasure, so, you know, I'm constantly picking up things like that to use in my journals. And so I want to know if I have, I'm going to have to print one thing out because I want to show you really quick. And I will be giving this out as a goodie alert on my Patreon, and you can join that free. You can get all my goodie alerts are all in a folder. You get access to that. You don't have to pay if you don't want to, but if you want to, and that's a good way to support me. If you want to pay, then you're going to get some extra things, and I don't think I have that card yet. So, all right, and the last thing is these little sayings, eternal love. We've got a few different sizes of these for Memento Mori, for eternity, dark thoughts, and embrace the macabre. And then we've got a few options for that little poem that I read. So those will be free to you guys. And you can use them however you want. Alrighty. Okay, thanks for all the links, Ezra. Let's get started. All right, I am working on my my opening. I really kind of want to get it down to 3 minutes, but do you guys think I'll ever do that? I don't know. I do want to. Sorry about my printer. Okay, so I am going to first got my notes here. I'm going to take my front and back, all right, and I am going to cover them with the outside pages. So this is going to be done kind of like when I did the my that ringed binder that I did, or the ringed journal that I did the other day. And so yeah, it's going to be similar to that, but the hinge, like I said, is going to be different, or it's going to be a hinge versus a ring. couple of rings. And so I'm just going to glue this on here, and if you're using these papers, you know, just be mindful that you want to have these cut really precise, because you want to be able to use them to go off of, because once you turn it over, you don't want your lines to be like weird and wonky. And so we're going to go ahead and do this. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to get this whole thing done today. So if you guys have any requests for any sort of embellishment, if I know how to do it, I'll show you how to do it. I'd be happy to do that. All right, so let me grab my trusty little tool that I got from my friend Monique. The ultimate, oh, I do just forget the name of this. It's the ultimate book cover guide tool, I think is what it's called. But anyways, I haven't seen any other tool that looks like this. They're all like really colorful and fun, and they are like a necessary tool if you want to do covers fast. Still no audio. Okay, my audio's good, right? Huh. Sorry about that, Susan. That's a bummer. Okay. Okay, good. All right, I don't know. Audio is still one of those things I have trouble with. Video, I've got. Lighting, maybe I've got it. There we go. And let me just make that a little bit brighter. Video's pretty good usually. Sound is one that I still have an issue with. I don't suppose, Amy, that you have, 'cause Amy says, I'd love to get one, but shipping to Canada is expensive. I know. You don't happen to have a, like a, this is going to probably be a stupid question, but a 3D printer? Because if you do, you can create one for yourself. I know that's kind of dumb. I'll bet you someone in Canada, though, has something similar to it. Let me see if I can find that piece that I'm thinking of. Yeah. So I got this from Colorway Arts, and it does the same thing, right? So I can put it up against here and then just make my marks. And I don't really know whether, thanks, Amy. I don't really know whether they're in the States or in Canada or where they're at, but it's colorwayarts.com. It was quite expensive because it's a good sturdy metal, but those are the two options that I can think of. All right, so now I've got my covers on there, and I want to go ahead and do a few scorings this way here, just to make sure I'm nice and straight and right up to the chipboard. I know I do have a 3D printer, and if I was in Canada, I would just make something for you and send it. But Monique is here by me, so maybe I wouldn't send it. I don't know. Anyway, if I was in Canada, I think I might have said that already. It's a wonder how I can forget exactly what I was even saying like a minute ago, or what I even said. It's amazing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start gluing these down. And I don't know what the best way to do this is. Meaning, like, do you do the sides first and then the top and the bottom? I've seen it done that way. I have inadvertently done it the other way, where I do like I'm doing now. So I've done it both ways. I haven't really found I should have refilled my glue. I haven't really found, you know, what's best. But what I do want to say is, whatever way you do it, make sure that you press in these right here so that, okay, and what I mean by this is, let me try to get close. Okay, so when you're getting ready to fold this over, you want to crease it here. Sorry, my hands are dirty, you guys. I've been crafting all morning. And so then when you go to fold this, you're going to have a better corner. Okay. Sometimes they come out a little teeny bit bigger, but you know, you'll figure out a way that works for you best, so that you can get nice square corners. Oh, Amy, you found something on Amazon. That's great. Awesome. Yeah, it's really nice to have, you know, something like that. All right. Okay. Oops. All right. We have anybody here from Southern California? Don't worry, I won't come over. I'm just curious. Aside from Ezra and me. And if you're not from Southern California, where are you from? I know that Amy is in Canada. Let's see. Do I know where anybody else is? I don't know if I do. Okay, let me pull a little bit of this over. There we go. All right. Right, now I'm going to do these corners right here. And basically what I'm doing is I'm actually folding this part down onto the edge of this so that I'm not seeing these sticking out a whole lot over here. Because sometimes that becomes a problem. Oops, I'm going to do it on this side now that I just got done telling you that. Okay, so there's the two covers, and let me wipe off this area because I've noticed that glue gets stuck on it and then it wants to, you know, get into places where I don't want it to be. So, okay, so now we've got our two covers and they're relatively straight. Good job, me. Okay, so then the next part is going to be, we're not going to cover the inside just yet. Let me zoom out. We're not going to cover the inside just yet, but what we're going to do is leave those until the very end, all right? But now, well, we'll use it again, or we'll take them out again, but not until a little bit later on in the project. Okay, so now this is my hinge, and if I stretch it all out, you can kind of see what it looks like. So this is 2.5 by 9. Your first score will be at 1.5, and then every 1/2 inch until you get to 7.5, and then there will be 1.5 inches on this side. Okay, so the way it's folded is pretty much just zigzag, you know, hill, valley, hill, valley, hill, valley, until it looks like this. Okay, And what I like to do, and I've already done it with this one, or else I just showed it to you, is to fold it and make sure that all of my edges are flush, because it's really easy when you do a zigzaggy thing like this for it to end up, this one is still a little bit off. Can you see that? But it's not so bad. It would have been worse. Could have been worse. But all in all, this is a pretty good one. So this is kind of what it looks like here. And you want, for the inside, you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. And you're not going to glue anything, not like the other one that I've done before. You're not going to glue anything. Everything is going to be done kind of like, you know, it's going to be like kind of bound together, you know, with movable parts so that you can create something that has removable signatures without elastic. So, anybody have any questions this far, or thus far, I should say? I'm going to clean off my tool. I find that my scissors and everything, when they have a bunch of glue on it, it's really hard to cut with them, so I'm trying to keep my tools clean now. Besides, you guys don't want to hear me bitching about it, you know. Stupid scissors. So anyways, let's see. Here we go. Got all the glue off of here. All good. Okay. Nobody from Southern California. All right. Where are you from? Does anybody want to, no takers? Nobody wants to share? That's okay. Don't worry about it. All right. So now I've got the hinge, no glue on it. Now what I want to do is build the signatures. So remember I said I have about 8 pages. They're all double-sided. Okay. So let's see. And it doesn't matter which way they are because you're going to break them up into, like, you know, 2-page pieces. But I do want to find out if there's a possibility for me not to repeat the same page. I don't think so, but let's see. Oh, they all have this. Okay, great. Oh, I know why, because there's a lined side and then there's a not lined side. So that's all good, no problem. I do want to have some lined and some plain in each one. That way every one of them has somewhere to write and somewhere to glue in embellishments or draw or whatever it is that you like to do. All right, so now I've got 4 of these, right? And what I want to do, wait a minute, and then I want to make some covers for each of these. And so remember I showed you that I had these double-sided pieces of paper, and these ones are 8 by 5. It's not paper though, it's cardstock. So that's what I'm going to be using. And then I've got my 4 pieces of paper, which I'm going to set aside for now. These ones I'm just going to fold in half and make a nice crease in them, each one. But I want to decide, how do I want these to look? I want one like that, one like that, one like, I guess another like that, and one like this. So that's what I'm going to do. Just try to, oh, that's a terrible sound. I'm not sure where my other smooger is, but anyways, it's fine. I just don't really care for this one that much. I always thought it would be like super cute to have, like, you know, a little bit of jewelry on it, and it really just gets in the way. So live and you learn. Alrighty. Welcome in, welcome in. And let's see, and one last one, I guess it'll just be a black. So I have these 4, and they're going to be a little wide on this side, and you'll see what I mean. You can cut those down if you want. I don't generally need to do that, but what I do want is for them to be flush on the top. And so what I mean is that you're going to have about 3/4 of an inch on the inside, and I think it looks really cool and decorative, you know. And so I just left it. And it might be like, if you don't like the way it looks, you can always like put some lace or put some, you know, something that you think looks nice. Let me grab a drink of water. But anyway, for now, let's just set that aside and just get all these done. Alrighty. Welcome, welcome. So glad y'all are here. If you guys want to introduce yourselves in the chat, you can. If not, that's okay too. Not a problem. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Kristi, and we are Junk Journal Boss. Alright, so I don't really need to be too crazy about doing every single sheet of paper or every single signature or sheet of paper inside of the signature separately. But what I am going to do is I'm going to make sure everything's flush, and then I'm going to firm up my edges here, my folds. And this part is going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to grab my paper clips out. Oh, one other thing. I think what I want to do is add an envelope to each of these. So the way I'm going to do that is let me just do one at a time. I am going to, I think it works better this way. Fold these in half, and like I mentioned before, I glued these shut, but then I opened with a letter opener. So we're going to have pockets, okay? So each one of these can have a pocket. I don't really want it to be in the middle because, or like right here in the center, and I actually think I want to do it that way. I'll put it here and then do it that way. And I'm not too worried about what the position is, but if you are, you can kind of just do this, and then you can see where the position is. And I think that's actually probably a good idea, because if anything comes out of the top, you know, and if you don't like the way that looks, you'll have it in this place here. So I'm going to go ahead and put some paper clips on this, because I need this to be in the right place. And I want all of the valleys to be lined up here. And once I get that how I want it, I am going to use my ruler with the cork back. Let me scooch these over just a little bit. Put this on the center, and see how this is about 5 inches. Well, it is 5 inches. I'm going to go from 1 to 4. All right, and I'm going to cut that with a blade. If only I could find it. Yes, here you are. All right, so I'm going from 1 to 4. And you kind of got to press down pretty hard. I think I'll do it on this side too. Hopefully it won't come back and bite me in the butt, but I'm just going to try it anyways. Okay, I think the line is this white one here. I'll go from 1 to 4. Okay, I don't know if I want to do that again, because as you can see, there's a little bit of excess paper that kind of shredded because I made 2 cuts. Ideally, 1 cut, you know, is best, but if you have to do it that way, don't worry about it. It still looks pretty good. Okay, and then I'm going to do that with the next 4. So I'm kind of going to assembly line these guys. And I don't need all the paper clips on this, but one will be helpful just to keep it together. And let's set that there. So during this time, I usually will talk a little bit about whatever movie I have watched recently. And lately, I've been watching Stephen King movies or listening to audiobooks because, you know, it's October and scary books are, you know, are fun during this time. Okay, that's the top. And so, I recently watched a movie that I hadn't read the book or even watched before, and it was called Dreamcatcher. Has anybody ever seen that? And that was a cool story. I actually liked it. But the reason why I liked it was because interwoven in many of, I don't know if all, but I'm guessing probably all, because he's so like this to do that. He kind of intertwines the cities and the places that he writes. They're all about the same places, like the same areas. So I'm assuming he grew up in Maine, you know, because that's where most of his stories are taking place. And so I was listening to the book, and I never ever noticed this before, you guys, but when Georgie meets Pennywise in the sewer, right? You know, Pennywise, they introduce themselves to each other, and Pennywise says, "I'm Bob Gray." And I'm like, what? Who's Bob Gray? I mean, I've read this book, you know, and seen these movies, you know, ever since I was a teenager. You know, I've watched them multiple times, and I never, ever noticed that. And it's probably because they don't say it in the movie, I would assume. But I'm like, who's Bob Gray? And how come I didn't know this before? And anyways, Bob Gray is mentioned in another story, and that was called Dreamcatchers. So I wanted to see about Bob Gray, like who was he in the story? Where did he belong? What was up with this guy? And so I found out that he actually has a pretty big, that character is pretty big in Dreamcatchers. So I don't want to ruin it for you guys, you know, but it's pretty good, and it's pretty interesting because of what Dreamcatchers is about, and because of where we find out, you know, Pennywise is from. So, and it's not exactly dairy. So, anyways, it's really fun. I like Stephen King. I think he's probably my favorite author, and I've been reading his books probably for a good 50 years. 50 years, maybe 45. Maybe I didn't start reading them when I was 7. I probably didn't. But anyways, my mom has this huge collection of books, and she has lots and lots of Stephen King books. And so I get to collect those. So that's kind of what is sparking my interest, aside from Halloween and, you know, all of that entails. Okay, so I've got these all clipped up, and now I think what I might want to do is I might just want to scoot these over and do this from the outside rather than the inside, and I think that might serve me a little better. As long as I can tell where the, you know, where the fold is, I think I'll probably be able to do this. Maybe a couple passes just to make sure I get through it. Let's see how I did. Ooh, almost. I think rather I'll just kind of go in like, can I do it that way? Maybe I have to do another pass. Maybe another pass will work. I think I've got it. Pretty good. Look at hello. I cracked myself up. Okay. Be really careful. I'm always a little teeny bit nervous of using a blade and a ruler, because it doesn't take much for it to kind of go off track and go crazy, and then you can cut your fingers or something. So all right, 3 passes it took. That I think is a pretty good blade. Ooh, it's a little off on the inside though. I think it'll still be okay. All right, so there's those, and then the next one I want to do, or next ones I want to do are just, I guess I could do a couple of these pages, but actually I really would like some covers to this, and I don't really know what oh, I remember what I was going to do. Okay, never mind. I'll make 2 more. Let's see the combinations that I want to do. Do I want them both like that? It's fine if I do. Not a problem. All right. Alrighty. And so these are just the double-sided pages that I printed, and I am going to just fold these and do a decent fold there, and then I'm going to add I think this in the middle this time. Okay, let's see. Let me grab some of these. Oops, that was weird. And I just want to hold those in place. Give myself a little room for my... And I'm assuming this will probably be more like 2 passes. Oops. I suppose I need to make sure to tighten the blade in, because that also could be dangerous. So my blade is not sharp enough, but anyways. Oh, let me do one more. It's not being very cooperative. I think it was just right here where the envelope was meeting, right in the center. Well, it's on the other side, but this part here ended up being a little bit more, a little bit thicker. Very good. All right, so here's where the magic happens, guys. All right, so let's bring some of this stuff back over. Let me put those away. Oh, there it is. After all this time, I finally find my favorite smooger. Oh well, that's okay. Okay, so now what we want to do is, I haven't figured out whether I would like to put these on first, but I think it might be a little awkward that way. I think last time I did it last. Okay, so let's go ahead and start adding all of our signatures in, and we're not stapling, we're not sewing, we're not doing anything. What we're doing is I'm going to pick the prettiest one that I want to see when I open it up, and that really just depends on whatever I'm looking at. I think I like this color. Okay, and so basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the first fold and I'm threading it into this. And then, where did my little guys go? Oh, here they are. And then I'm going to take one of these and just sort of thread it into, so this is the reason why we don't glue it. We want to thread this into. All right. It would be better if I didn't do them both black, but I think you guys can see that, right? So it's just threaded right in there, and now it's holding this in onto the thing. And I really love the way this ends up looking when it's all together. It's really cool. And honestly, I've never made one of these exactly like this. I have used the same sort of idea, you know. All right, so I should make a note here that I cut these creases inside of here at 3 inches, okay, or creases. I cut the slits in the signatures at 3 inches, but the spine itself is only 2.5 inches. All right, and the reason why I did that is because inevitably I will get these, you know, at different levels, if that makes sense, and I wanted to be able to sort of, you know, adjust them. And so that just makes it, to me, it makes it a little safer as far as putting it all together and letting it look well made, you know, and well secured. Well, yeah, well secured, well made, just all the way around. You know, it improves the look if everything can be flush. And it's tight enough that it won't move too much. also, it's not going to move all that much, because once you put it into the covers, then, you know, goodness, let me out. All right. Once you put it in the covers, that's going to hold it too. Am I blurry? Yeah, I think I am blurry. Uh-oh. Okay, so if you've been watching me for very long, you know that I often put things upside down. So this is another good reason to do it this way. You know, to be able to remove your pages, and then you can put them back with no trouble, right? Oops. So the paper I'm using for the hinge and for these is, I believe it's going to be something like a 270 GSM paper. So if you want to make like a mini journal like this, I really recommend that you start, you know, stocking that kind of paper or finding an alternative. And if I were to have to find an alternative for this, I probably would want to maybe use, you know, heavy cardstock for this, you know, the heaviest you got. And then for these inserts, you're going to want to use, you can use like, I think the instructions that I saw today were to use like coffee stirrers, you know, those flat ones you can get from Starbucks. Don't steal them from Starbucks. Buy your own. But, I mean, or use your used ones. I don't know. But anyways, maybe that's gross. Don't use somebody else's used ones. Use your used ones. Right? Okay. Let me get this guy on. Am I upside down? Am I right side up still? Doing good? Doing good. All right. The next one. And it starts getting kind of tight, you know, which is totally fine. If these are just slightly, I cut these at 3/8 inch, and these were, you know, supposed to be a 1/2 inch here like that, so it should fit just fine. But if you find that it doesn't, just go ahead and cut it down just a little bit and you'll be fine. Welcome in, everybody. Hello, Bella. All right, last one. Isn't this a cool project? It's so fun. Bella, shh. All right now. Shh. All right, so there we go. Pretty cool. Check this out. Check out how totally cool that looks. Isn't that like super nice and neat? This is probably the neatest binding I've ever done. So I'm super stoked about it. Can you tell I'm new to this particular kind of journal? Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I am marking where I want to add this. So I'm going to mark it on 3 sides, okay, and then I won't be able to mark it on 3 sides on this other one, but what I can do is maybe, let's see. I'm going to be covering up this white part, so it doesn't really matter that much that I make a mark, but also I'm using erasable gel pens, so that is my insurance that I'm going to be able to, I am going to be able to erase it if I have to. Whoops, uh-oh, what happened? Don't come out of there, please. All right, let's do this last one again. It's just because it's the last one. But I don't know how this thing, maybe I did I not put this in? What's happening? Oh, we're having trouble. All right, so let me do it again. And here we go. All right, and now I am going to add my glue, and I'm going to use these guides, but listen, I need to make sure which way I'm doing this so I can get oriented correctly. And so this seems to be the top, but remember, oh, an upside down one. We are going to be able to remove this one. So I'm going to do that after, just to demonstrate that, you know, that can be removed. Gosh, what if it doesn't? What if it's not able to? I'm going to be embarrassed. Oh well, won't be the first time. Okay, so I want this to be pretty flush, but it is okay if there's, you know, like 1/8 of an inch there. I think it actually looks pretty good that way. And so, let me make sure this looks right. It looks a teensy bit off for some reason. So let me do this. I'm just going to make like another guideline that looks a little bit more right, and add some glue. It's just ever so slightly off. So, anyways. Okay. Okay. Check it out. Looks so cool. What do you guys think? Honestly, if you think it looks cool, hit like on the thing, on the video. It's a great way to support us for free, and we would just love that. So now on the inside, we're going to need some paper, or we can just use some of the postcards that we've got, but I kind of would rather just use paper. So I'm going to go over into my scraps and see if I can, yeah, this is a scrap that I kind of messed up. I was trying to actually do a, thanks Ezra, I was actually trying to do like a, no, I think the one I'm doing is a reverse piano hinge. I keep getting them mixed up, but at any rate, I think it was a piano hinge one where you actually use a like a skewer to thread everything in versus these flat pieces of paper. And let me actually make this correction first before I start confusing myself. Oh goodness. Oh, this is probably the last one, huh? That I put in upside down. Okay, let me make sure though. So this one's upside down, and all the rest of these, are these the same? They look the same. I think I'm doing okay. Give me a shout if not. Okay. Turn this over. And if you guys like these kinds of videos, like I said before, I am here on Wednesdays and Fridays, usually putting together a folio or something, and on Wednesdays and embellishing it on Fridays. I'm probably going to have a different project because I'm going to be done with this one. Ooh, see what happens when you have glue? Bummer. It's going to get covered up anyways though, so it's all good. Ooh, everything looks great. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and cover this on the inside. And so what I didn't do last time was I didn't cover this, okay? But I think I like it better if I cover it. Either way, it looks pretty good, but you know, so let's see. You guys, if you want to have get these papers, don't forget to use the coupon code October 25. All one word, no spaces. I don't think you have to capitalize it if it's capitalized. I don't know. Has anybody ever used one of my coupon codes not capitalized? Etsy actually, the platform creates it that way. But anyway. So these are some prints that I had before that my printer was, you know, the print heads were dirty or whatever. I don't know if laser printers have print heads, but at any rate, it was dirty. And so I had a lot of ink coming off. And like I said, like I always say, if you have an inkjet printer, you probably won't have these issues. Yeah. Yeah, so if you go to use it and it's not, you know, it doesn't take it, just capitalize everything, and it's all one word. So October 25 for 25% off any and all of the papers that are, you know, like Halloween type papers and stuff. Okay. All right, so there. Look at how cool this is. I'm super stoked with the way this came out. Now, time for the covers. And so I'm not sure which one I want to use for the cover. It's going to be one of these two. No, maybe not that, but this. And the reason why I kind of am thinking about doing this is because this one had so little space for me to put a little I don't know, words or whatever, and I had to use this size, and I think this one, because it has something weird down here, I might go ahead and use, and then I'll be able to use a larger size that would be more similar to what would be on the cover of a book, I suppose. I want to brighten things up just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, and this is going to be my front, so I'm going to set that aside for a minute. This one can be my back, I guess, and I'm going to glue this one flat. On the back, make sure everything's centered nicely. Looks pretty good. My other smoother. Okay, making sure of the right direction. All right, looking good. Looking good, looking good. Okay, so got a little stain right there, but it's not going to be a problem, right? Because we're just going to put this right over it. Not a problem. And we're going to, okay, so there's the back. Pretty cool, yeah? And now let's do the front. Where did I just put that? Here it is. And so for this one, I'm just going to glue the black onto the front of the journal. I want to get it centered nicely. these stripes really make it easy to do that. And then I want to pull out some of these that I have a million of that are taking over the world in my desk. And I'm going to put a bunch of these on the back of here. Okay, so I'm probably going to use quite a few. They're old and I want to get them used up. So you can actually use, if you want to, you can use something different, some other kind of raised tape if you want to use that. If you don't want to make it raised, that's fine too. All right. Incidentally, if you're watching this in the future people, and you hear me say, you know, that there's a coupon code for the month or whatever, and it's not that month, message us and we'll see that you get a coupon code for whatever it is whatever the coupon code is for later, the most current one. That way you can get a little bit off. Okay, so I put a whole ton of these on. I want to make sure that they're stuck nicely. And then, so it's going to actually be raised up. And that actually is a really super cool look. It makes it look actually like a cover versus the back where it's all flat, right? It just brings some dimension to the front, and I really like that. Only I have to take off like 10,000 of these backs though. But I like to do it this way because it makes it so nothing is going to dip like in the middle or in the sides or anything. Besides, like I said, I have a ton of these, so. All right, here we go. And this, I want to be super sure to get it centered before I start pressing. Really hard. Okay. Oh well, I might have, yeah, I think I got it a little bit too high over here, but that's okay. I think I have a way that I can work that out. That might balance it nicely. So this time, let's see, do I want to use this color? No, I don't. I think I'm just going to use black, and I am going to grab my larger Memento Mori. That's actually one of my, something I think about a whole lot. Partially is because my tattoo, but also because I didn't enjoy life for a very long time, like as consistently as I do now. And I didn't enjoy people, you know, as consistently as I do now. And there comes a time when you just have to decide you're just gonna, you know, you're just gonna enjoy your life, enjoy the people around you, put up boundaries where you have to, so that trying not to get glue on this. Oh. You know, put up boundaries where you have to so that your life can be happy, you know. And this is actually what got me thinking about that, you know. I'm sort of I guess a fair weather fan of stoic ideas, you know, and I know that not that people, not everybody likes that, but the reason why I like it and the reason why it speaks to me is because I'm a reactive person. And because I'm a reactive person, see what I did with the glue? Because I'm a reactive person, it's always been like a desire of mine to be able to just not react at all. I don't know if anybody understands that at all, but so I get a lot out of stoic ideas. And so how does it look? Oh, it's a little crooked, huh? So it doesn't look so bad that I had it off over here, because this is like down a little bit further. So anyway, I'm super stoked with this design. I love it. What do you guys think? I have about 40 minutes left, so I'm going to go inside and just glue some things in. And, you know, again, if you don't care much for skulls and stuff, you can just use whatever you have and still do the same thing. Create this journal. I get it, you know, a lot of people just kind of think it's creepy or whatever, you know, and I get it. I even showed Todd the one I made before, and he goes, ooh, scary. Not that he was really scared, but, you know, some things are just not for certain people, so I get it. But I'm enjoying my Halloween time here. And thanks, Amy. Yeah, I think it turned out really cool. And I think probably some of you guys might even have these papers. You might have, if you've ever won anything from me, you might have got this like at a past retreat or something. You might even have these in your library, so I don't know. Go take a look. And these are only going to be, I think, available, you know, this month. After that, I need to take it down and put it all into a collection. Because that's kind of the direction that we're going is, you know, this is weird. I think that's a weird one. I like this one though. This one's cool. And all of these look pretty neat on the purpley pink backgrounds. So if you want to grab these singularly, you can go grab them. That way. All right, let's see. Do I have any others? I kind of don't really like this one because it looks like there's roses like inside of there. I don't know why I made it that way, but anyways. Let me see if I have any others. Oh, you know what I do have? I want to pull some of these out. I have a lot of scraps from the last one I made, so let me see if I can grab some things that I can put on the inside of there. I don't really want the pages all to just look like stripes like that. So I'm going to use those scraps for something right here in a minute. And these are not double-sided, so I didn't want to use them. And I have some of these, which, you know, you can get those free in Patreon if you have access to that goodies folder. Everybody does if you guys are in the free part of the group or paid. Everybody has access to that. Yeah, so here's a few more. And I think I want to put like some journal cards in there. And Let me move these aside for a minute. And we're going to bring these back in a few minutes, but for now I want to put in some journaling things. And mostly I just want to use probably these ones because I don't really know if I want to change direction of the pages to write on those. So let me just start with these and see if I have enough of those. It looks like a lot of them that I have are not necessarily like that, and the measurements of these should be a little bit smaller, about the size of the square. And the only time that matters a lot is when you are cutting the ones that do not have a square around them, because you don't have any kind of guide that is going to help you know what size. But anyway, there's a way to do that, and it's not a big deal. Oops, this is a little teeny bit crooked. Teeny bit crooked. Ugh, just ripped off an edge. I hate when I do that. Oh well. Let's not cry, okay, over it. I'm just going to cut it, I think, one more time. One more time, just a little teeny bit smaller. There we go. Okay, so this is going to probably fit pretty good, I can tell. Yeah, there we go. And so this is about 3 1/4 to a little less than 4 1/2. So 3 1/4 by a little less than 4 1/2. So it looks like I'll have one more, and then and if these are just a little teeny bit different, I just don't really mind. All right, so there we go. Look at these. Set that aside, and let me put in some, I don't know, do you guys think it'll be super weird if I do like some sideways ones like this? I think it will be super weird. All right. Since I'm using, this is just my 32-pound paper, so I'm going to use glue stick. Otherwise, I would be using, if they were cardstock, I would be using the art glitter glue, or, you know, whatever white glue I had handy. Okay, very cool, right? Super cool. I am just like super stoked about this one. It looks so good. Okay, let's put another. Everything looks good against that. All right. I'm going to put it against here because I can always remove this to write on it, right? Hi, Bella. I guess Bella just woke up, shaking her ears. All right, let's see. I can probably put this guy way back here. Way back here. Don't love him, but I can always cover it up if I don't, if it bothers me. This is probably my least favorite of the journal cards. I made this like a long time ago when I first started, you know, messing around with AI. So sometimes AI makes like some really weird stuff, which is part of the reason why, well, there's more of a reason, but you know, we're getting away from, like, trying to move away. Next year we definitely will be moving away for sure from using so much AI, you know, and Ezra and I can do some drawing and stuff, and there's plenty of people that create, you know, commercial use, nice art. So, but it was fun while it lasted. It's just now, you can totally tell what's AI and what isn't. And it's just not as original, you know. It looks cool, almost like too good. And then if you look at the hands are like super crazy looking. I think they still are. I think AI still doesn't do hands very well. So anyways, there are some corrections and things you can do, you know, if you know how to at least do a little bit of drawing or editing or whatever. But it's always kind of been a thing I've wanted to do, you know, to draw my own and to create my own papers and stuff. So you'll probably see more of that later. All right. Oops, wrong lid. So that's really cool. Now, I have all these scraps, right? And let me put a couple of things away really quick. Take a second to clean up your desk. And I'm going to use the scraps up as best I can to make some other embellishments. And so, you know, you've probably seen me do this before. I really love doing it. It's pretty like meditative, I guess. And so I'm going to pull all the scraps of the colors that I've used. Some of these I was just using for like practice things. So you're not seeing that color in there. So I like to pull these out and see what I've got, you know, left over. And once I see what I've got left over, I can start creating other things like washi tape. I don't know, all kinds of different things. Belly bands, like really thin belly bands, thick ones. And when I make stuff, this is sort of what I do at, you know, when I do Mass Make Mondays or Mega Make Mondays, but you know, same thing. I like to take my scraps and just make a whole bunch of things out of it. And then, let's see, and then put it away so that when I'm making a book like this, like say I use this paper again in a different project, I can dig through my embellishments and my ephemera and stuff and find something that matches. And so, you know, normally I would just throw all this stuff away, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm learning to do something different. So it's fun. But this is one that my printer really messed up on, but it's cool, right? You know, it's actually cool. It looks like I meant to do that, but I didn't. So if you buy this paper, it's actually going to not look like this. It's going to look more like these, clean. So for this last, if nobody has any request for me to make a piece of ephemera or something, I'm going to go ahead and just work on this. And I probably won't really be teaching much of anything, but we can just work side by side and, you know, make something. Oh, you know what I forgot to do though? Anyways, maybe I could do it with this. So what I forgot to do was to actually use the ribbon or lace that I have here, and I can use these to kind of make my ephemera, as long as it follows the color scheme, you know. of the paper, I can use it for that. Or if I have another, you know, another book that I'm making that uses this color scheme, I'll have that. But I really like this. I really like the way this looks. So I'm going to make that. And I'm going to leave it long, because if I leave it long, then I can cut it down as I need it. But the problem with leaving it long is that where do I store it? Because the way I store my my Mega Makes is in boxes that are actually shorter lengthwise than this. So, but I love the way this looks, and so I'm going to go with it. These are not good ribbon scissors. Where are my little bumblebee scissors? What did you do with your bumblebee scissors, Kristi? Maybe I put them away where they belong. Oh yes, I did. Can you believe it? All right, so I really love this color scheme right here. This color palette, I guess you could say. I don't know. You know, of pink and black. It's really my thing. So I might make a few of these. Oops. So for the rest of the day, I'm probably going to have to do some voiceovers for the Patreon project for this month, and I hope everybody was able to get that. And I still have the voiceover to do for that, and also I had to re-record the Mega Make from Monday, because it did not get recorded. And so that's my bad. But sometimes that happens. But anyways, the video will end up being a lot less fluff, you know, a lot more to the point than, you know, like a live stream or whatever. So that'll be good. And so I think I'm going to make myself wait until after I do the voiceovers after lunch to turn my book on again and listen. So right now I'm kind of into listening to my books. I went a long time without listening to audiobooks. I love these. These are so cute. And it's really just a scrap and a piece of ribbon, guys, you know. So easy. So frugal. I might want to wash my hands real quick with a wipe. Because I got glue and stuff. Uh-oh. Did you guys lose me? Oh, maybe not. Maybe I just didn't. Okay, yeah. Ooh, I must have paused like a million years ago because... Anyways. Okay. No questions? No problem if you don't. It's not a big deal. I just want to make sure I'm paying attention because I can really get in the zone here. It seems like I just filled this up and it's got hardly any in it anymore. I use this. All right, cool. right. I think next time I invest money into glue, it's probably going to be Barely Art this time, because this glue somehow, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but this glue, the art glitter glue, gets kind of clumpy, where I didn't notice that with Barely Art. Like, I have a lot of trouble keeping my glue from clumping up and, you know, getting clogged and stuff. But the Barely Art I didn't have that problem with, so let's see. Let me put these. I kind of feel like I want to do something else, but I just love how this looks so much. Let's see, what else can I do that is interesting? So here's a possible, come on. So this actually looks pretty cool too. I really like that a lot. I had no idea that I loved this color palette so much, but I do. Look at that, a little crooked, oh well. So some of these, most of these are cardstock, but this one is actually not. These two here. So I'm kind of wondering, is it possible? How about this? How about I do it this way instead? To put some glue and sort of sandwich this in between. I want to get it nice and straight. Oh, sorry about that. There you go. Out of the camera there. And I think I want to use some clips just to make sure I don't move this. Oops. All right, let's just not try to get the whole thing lined up, just a section at a time. All right. Let's adjust this a little bit. Cut this here. There we go. So that's looking, let me scooch some things away real quick so you can see what I'm doing. All right. So now I've got it like this, and now I want to add, ooh, will that look good? If I sandwich it like that? I don't think I like that at all. Hold on, let me see if I can do some black. Real quick, let me pull that. Just can use this grosgrain black, but I think this is an actual really thin piece of paper. So it's hard to see. It's hard to not cover that up. So I think we'll go ahead and see if we can just do the pink again. It's harder to work with paper and then this flimsy ribbon, or this lace, I mean. And for some reason, I don't really love the way this looks very much. What do you guys think? I'll get a sip of water while you guys look at that. Tell me what you think. I'm just not sure. Not that for sure. All right. I'm going to move on to another piece of paper here. And this is one I really like doing a lot. So real quick, just clean my little area off here. It's like the world is closing in on me right here. All right, so let's go with gonna have to go a little over a little more. So I'm just taking all these really thin little scraps and staggering them on here. Staggering? I don't know. I guess it's kind of overlapping. Just a slight bit though, because I want to I don't want to cover it up too much because I want it to stay glued actually. All right, so there we go. Let me set that thing aside. I still haven't gotten any opinions from anybody, so I'm going to assume that you guys absolutely love the pink on that, so we'll see what happens. And so for these, oh look, I got some actually cool different options here. I might end up pulling this one off, I think, or just, you know, gluing something over the stripes, but I'll just wait and see what I think. But I kind of want these to look a little bit different, you know, so maybe I'll cut a few of these. These are just pieces of paper. They're not cardstock. If they're cardstock, I'd probably not do this, just because these pieces of cardstock can definitely be used for something. All right, this is probably going to maybe come out with some a little bit of bubbles, just because glue, white glue, kind of does that. Glue stick is drying. So this might not look like much, but in the end it's going to end up looking really cool. I like doing this a lot. I do want to see if there's any other scraps that I'm missing. Here's one. I think I'm going to rip this right here. Oh, did I just put glue down again? Okay. Right. And then a little bit more of these. And so this is kind of, you know, this is stuff I'd have thrown away before. But now, I don't know, it's kind of meditative, like I said, you know, to just sort of do these little designs, you know. And all of this is just stuff, you know, that would have been trash for me. So let me see what else I got over here. think I have much glue on that part. Nope. I kind of want to put something else right here. I think that'll work. Okay, so once that is done, I want to cut these, just cut all the way around it. And any edges off. Okay, so that looks pretty cool, but I think it still needs a little bit of work, so we're going to go ahead and ink the edges just to get it a little more uniform looking. Because all the edges are just a little bit different here. Okay. All right, so we've got this. I want to make sure that I've got glue wherever it needs to be. Just put a little teeny bit wherever. A couple of these are coming up a little. And this looks actually really cool. So next what I want to do is maybe add something like this. This is, I think, the big enough one. Or wait, where's the little poetry one? Covers up the roses, so that doesn't quite look right. Oh, well, maybe this little one. Maybe this will be all right. Oh, come on, world, go away, go away, go away. Oh well. That sounded like the world was just really. Oh, this looks cool. What do you guys think? Ooh, what about this? Oh my gosh, guys. The world is coming together for me. I never thought I'd be singing on YouTube. Yeah, it's pretty cool. With the pink or no? I think the pink might be a little too, I don't know, or maybe just like a pink something, but maybe not a ribbon all the way down. I don't know. That's funny. All right. So I think I'll just put this here like that. And then I'm going to put it wrap it around the back a little. Just so. Do I have to? No, I don't really have to, do I? I don't know. What would look better? I think it just makes it look funky. All right, let me just do a clean cut right here. Okay, so we've got this, and I really do feel like it still needs something. So I am going to just do one of my bunny ears bows. Hey, how you doing? Is that Kim? Welcome. All right, so let me do this. And I can put, what do you think of this? I don't know what's happening with my phone, but I need to turn the ringer and stuff off. I'm so sorry, guys. How unprofessional. Okay, there we go. I kind of like the way this looks, really. What do you guys think? Do you think it looks... I'm leaning toward it, you guys. So if nobody objects, I'm doing it. The only thing I don't love about this kind of ribbon is that, let's see, it's not double-sided satin, so this side is sort of dull. So I'm gonna want to, and the sad part is, thank you. The sad part is that, oh, should I just be okay with it how it is? Because I'm having a hard time here. Let me just be okay with it. Let me just settle down and just be okay with this. All right. Thanks, Amy. And it could go inside of this book, you know, the one that we made. Let me zoom out just a little bit. But I think it's going to be bigger than I've got space for, so I'll just put it in my ephemera, you know. But let's see. Oh, I only got about 6 minutes, so I'm going to need to say some stuff before we go. And so let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Kim. So yeah, if you want to make this book, you can go over to the Etsy shop and grab these papers. I have the postcards, the backgrounds, and the what are these called? Bifolds. All right, so, and through this whole video, or the beginning of the video, I give you all the measurements that you need and everything to make this exact book. If you are part of the Patreon, you will get release this within the next couple of days. The Eternal Love, I don't know what to call these words, you know. Just made them this morning just to go with it, and I'm calling this one Momento Mori. You can call it whatever you want. So, anyways, there's that. And if you are not part of the Patreon, you can join free, and you will get, you know, all the goodie alerts. This one will be one. I also have, like, you know, journal cards and stuff, and there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. So you can grab that. If you are wanting to get the project of the month, which is this, and this is Happy Ghosties, you can join one of the tiers and you will get access to this project and you will be able to make it. And depending on what tier you join, you will also get the video, access to the video. And that's that. And I show you how to make these paper clips. I've been saying paper clips so much that I just drew a blank just now. And I'm not sure why that is. But anyways, and I show you how to make the paper clips, everything, show you exactly how I make it. And then also the closure here. Super simple closure. So if you want access to that, you can join one of the tiers. They cost $2, $5, or $10, and you get this. You get access to the Mega Make Mondays on the Discord channel or server, and you get, like I said, all the goodies and all that stuff. So, oh, I should. Whoops. Okay, so I want to thank again the Dragonflies. And Kim, if you want some help with Patreon, you can connect with me over, if you're still part of that, because I think you might have canceled, which I get it because it's kind of hard to navigate. But if you want to join, or you are joined and you need help, connect with me on Patreon. Just message me and I will help you with that. And remember that we're here Wednesdays and Fridays on YouTube. And if you want to come to the Mega Makes, that happens in the Patreon Posse Discord group, 4 to 5. All these are Pacific times. And if sorry. I made these cards and then I thought I was just being so smart, and then I just forgot to add the other thing, the mic, to those. So I'll fix those. Sorry about that, guys. We could talk about that, Kim, when we connect, okay? And so that's all I want to say. Get us at YouTube, check us out on Etsy, go to let's see, we have a blog, Junk Journal Boss. You can go there and get some things, get access to some stuff. I have a freebie over there that you can get. Just go to the front page, junkjournalboss.com, and let's see, the other thing was, in the Discord. So anyways, yeah. And I think that's all I got. So thanks a lot for being here. I appreciate you listening while I stumble over my words, and I'll see you guys on Friday, okay? Bye.